How you doing, guys? It's Danny K. Right back doing another video. Let's go. I made this video for all my truck drivers out there, all my on the road truck. This is specifically for people who do OTR, even regional, but specifically for OTR. How to know if a company respects you. I'm straight to the point, direct. I'm not going to talk about my day, but straight to the point, direct. How to know if a company respects you or just is a good company. And this is not for everybody, but this is just an umbrella term for most of the time. If your company plays with your home time, be very aware of that company. I used to work for Western Express for over a year. One thing I do got to say about Western Express, they had their faults, but Western Express did bring me home when I said I wanted to go home. There's a couple of times where they did mess around. There was only one time, Thanksgiving, and I read that clock. I'm not gonna lie, I went over my hours of service to get home. I was gonna come home regardless, but hook about crook, I was gonna come home, which I don't recommend. But besides that, if a company plays with your home time, be very real. The company start looking for something else. You're on the road. Me, I don't do more than 3 weeks, but average 2-3 weeks are out. Sometimes I pass. Well, I'm from Jersey, so sometimes I pass through the house here and there. But one thing a company should not play with you is with your home time. And most companies know who to play with. I realize this. Most companies know who to play with. As a person, as an individual, as a driver, you should make sure you have your home time. You're out here working. You're out here on the road. When you want to go home, you should go home. That's your right. You should go home. Although, as I said again, things do happen. If you're stuck in a snowstorm, something crazy happens, okay. But they should be looking to get you home. If your company does not care about your home time, you should not really care about a company. Now, I'm not saying destroy their equipment, leave their truck, just no. But you should have in your head, okay, now, you did this. I have a clean CDL, I have a lot of spots and a lot of availables, a lot of places I could go to. Just know that if you have a CDL, you have a ticket to go to different places. I have companies hitting me up. I could go back local when I'm ready. I could go back to regional when I'm ready. I have options now. At this point, I can even work. You have options. I could go back to road. You have options when you have your CDL. Don't be so close-minded, especially if you have more than 2 years worth of experience. If you have more than 3 years worth of experience, don't deal with that. You can stay at the company for a little bit, but always have in your head, okay, yeah, you guys did me like this, okay. Have in your head to leave that company and never go back. Unless you need to, unless something is dire straits. But a company should not play with your home time. A company should not play with your home time. That's the only time you really have available where you can get spent with family, with friends, with loved ones. And for a company to look and say, no, you're not going to get home time, well, that dispatch, while they dispatch you and they get home to their family and everything every day, and they're telling you no, just have that in mind and just know, move accordingly. Move accordingly. That's why I always say, move accordingly. And I'm hearing this from a lot of people about, oh yeah, you know, I was working for this company, they didn't bring me home. And they're on the road for 3-4 months with any home time, and it's not like they want to be out there, they want to go home. And I'm looking at them like, okay, they playing with you. First of all, because you're always out there. No, I always tell this to everybody, make sure you have your home time is priority. Even if I want to stay out there, I force myself to have home time. Even if it's I'm going to go home to show you, to set that precedent that home time is important to me. Now, when you set that precedent, you don't care about your home time, you could just run me over. Now, once you set that precedent, just know that they're going to play with you now, since you set that precedent. But don't let any company, this is going to be a short video, because this is just the number one thing I realize about most companies. If they play with your home time, most time they're going to always play with your pay. They're not going to take you serious. They're going to even play with your loads. When I worked for Western Express, before I switched to regional, I met a driver who was on the road for, 3 months. I'm like, you're not getting home time? No, they didn't give me home time. I understand you only have 3 months of experience, but once you get a year in, especially a year in, look for something else. Do not let them treat you like that. But they know who to play with. Me, if I want home time, I'm going to get home time. Just know that. That time when they try to play that thing on Thanksgiving, I didn't have any hours. I was on 3 Red Bulls trying to head home. I'm going to head home. I'm going to eat Thanksgiving turkey. I'm going to be home. I said again, me, I'm an understanding person. I understand there's some things that might happen. It might snow. Something might happen. But if I'm doing what I am doing as a driver, if I'm being responsible, if I'm being competent as a driver, is you as a company supposed to be competent and responsible for getting me home. That's the least they could do. Just know this: these companies are not your friends. I always say this: these companies are not really your friends. They're not buddy. It's business at the end of the day. And as an individual, as a person, you should realize that when you're trucking industry, it's cold. It's heartless. The industry doesn't really care. But you know how many trucks? I'm in a truck stop right now. It's about, including the petrol, over 300-400 trucks. So take care of yourself first. That's one thing I learned about this game, about the industry. This is my second year in. The second year, basically. Yeah. The industry don't care about you like that. And you should know that. You should know, okay, if I don't put my best interests at heart, nobody else will put my best interests at heart if I don't do it. Just know that. And that's all fast fight, but especially in the trucking industry. So just know, if you're in a company right now, you're a company driver, and your company's playing with your home time, I'm not saying you just up and leave right now, but have a plan. I know when I worked for Western, when I seen them playing with my check, I'm like, okay, I see what you did. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I'm going on vacation. I'm not really going on vacation. I already set my my company where I stay at right now. I already set in motion of my company already. I'm about to go there for orientation. So I'm getting paid for my orientation and getting paid for vacation, and I left the truck at the yard. And I took videos and pictures as proof to evidence that it's at your property, it's at your yard. This is because you try to put that I left the truck alone. Don't give these trucking companies 2 weeks notice unless it's the trucking company that tells you, oh, put a 2 weeks notice, X, Y, and Z. If a company that's going to be a person of the word, a company of the word, is a different case. But most companies are not like that, so you got to play the game smart. Don't be a fool. If you're a fool out here in this game, the game will chew you up and spit you out. Now, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy here. I'm just trying to be honest and transparent, especially for the new drivers. Just know what's going on. Just know what's happening. Don't let these companies play with you. Don't let that happen. Don't let these companies play with you. Don't let them take advantage of you. Don't do that, because these companies will. These people will take advantage of you. These people will run you to the dirt. Thinking about it, I'm at a decent company right now. Let me move this over. Sorry about that, guys. I'm at a decent company right now, which is not bad so far. Not bad so far. The company pays me what I need to get paid. If I have any problem with payroll, I could call them. They're going to fix it. So right now, I thank God I'm not at a bad company. When I need home time, this company, I never had a home time problem with any companies I've been with so far. So I'm grateful for that. But I see people 10 years of experience talking about, oh, they didn't want to bring me home. I don't know what to do. You can't be 10 years in the game here and you don't have, and I'm starting to realize this, why you need to save money. People save, but then when you hit life, you realize, okay, you really need to save money. Because if a company's going to play with you, you have to have the ability to walk away. If a company's going to play with your pay, if a company's going to play with your home time, you have to have the ability to be like, okay, I see how you move, especially when you've been a competent driver. You've been incompetent, you've been messing around, you ask for home time every week. Okay, yeah, that's not realistic. Most companies have to do 10 to 14 days to get at least 2 days or 3 days home. So be realistic, but also just know, if a company, every time you ask for home time, they playing with you, just know that in the back of your head, this company doesn't respect me as a driver. This company is just walking all over me, and people will do what you tolerate. So you could tolerate for being, but have a way out. Because if you as a CDL holder, you have options, especially if you have a clean license, you haven't gotten into any accidents. If you've been doing what you've been doing, you have opportunities. There's opportunities out there. You might have to look for it. You might have to pivot. Look, even me, right now I'm happy because I'm like, I could go to, not to the rail. I used to work for the rail, but I could also go to Amtrak. I could also be a conductor. I could also be a crane operator. And crane operators are making pretty good money. $90 an hour in some places. So you have options with a CDL. And not only that, you could go back to local. It depends where you live at. I know where I live at. Locals, they're paying, if you know what you're doing, if you're like in food service, $90,000, $110,000 a year. But typically local, you're going to look at 70, 80. So just know you have options. Just know you have options you could do. So don't let anybody treat you like trash. And that's again, I said, this is my second year in. So I'm not going to talk like I know everything. I'm still learning about the industry, learning about lanes, learning about if I had to be an owner operator, if I had to own my own truck, what would I do? If I had to run a business, what would I do? I'm still learning. But what I've seen so far in this truck industry is that you have to have a positive mental attitude. Do what you got to do. If you get into a little scuffle or something happen, try your best to pay with it out of pocket. That's one thing I would say. Try to have some money. So if anything happens, let's say you scuff the car a little bit. that's gonna go on your record. Now, if you could just chip him off a little something, look, let's figures between me and you. That's a little bit better. Just be smart. No, and you're alone in the field. You don't have your mom. You don't have your dad. You don't have people to hold your hand in this game. So just know, okay, don't trust people openly. Just trust anybody. Just be cognizant of the game. And I said, this coming from a person it's 2 years in. I'm OTR right now. And I said again, it's not easy. I respect drivers even more since I've been a driver. You know, a lot of people think you just go and then you just, it's easy. I'm not saying it's hard. The railroad was harder, but it's not as easy as everybody may see. It's not easy money. If you're going to come here thinking, oh, it's going to be easy money, the first year, 2 years, I'm blessed to be in a situation that's pretty decent, but the first 2 years, you're going to chop that in the game, you're not going to be making really decent, good money. Especially if you have no connections. I'm the first person in my family to be in the truck industry with no connections. If you have connections, life is going to be easier for you. But I'm rambling right now. I'm not trying to ramble. It's just going to be a quick video to tell you, if your company's not giving you home time, just know that and consider your way out. Don't let these companies give you the respect or not respect you as a driver. Because now, if you're going to tolerate that for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, God forbid, more than a year, 2 years, you're the issue and you're the problem of this industry. You're part of the problem, not part of the solution. You should not be in a company for over a year that's not going to respect you. It's Danny K out.